Let's go. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Today is Wednesday. Sorry, it is CPI day. We have our numbers coming in here in about 12 minutes. We want this number right here. This is the one we want to see. We want to see this come in at 3.0 and under. That's a pretty big drop. From the last month, we went from 5 to 4. So it was a full point drop. And now they're expecting almost a full point drop again. Well, 0.9% drop. That's a big drop. So here's the thing. I can see the charts literally. Bitcoin not so much, but on the S&P 500, I posted that we could buy the open yesterday at the open. We literally caught the freaking low on the day. So that was where we took the entry. We had that big bearish candle trade right down into that trend line. So basically that's where I took my entry. This candle looked bad because it looked like it was going to be a sell, but the next hour showed us that it probably wasn't going to be. Now I have this pulled from basically this massive swing day there from high to low. And you can see that you've tagged the 618 and the 702, but price just slowly just keeps pushing up. So, I mean, if you want to sell it right there, you're not around literally anything other than the Fibonacci from that day. All right, that's literally it. The Fibonacci from this bearish day and the low of that bullish day. So if we pulled it to just that bearish day, you're not even at that. So that's literally the only technical level to watch. Here's daily res there. Old daily res. We're in there. And then if you pull up the 3-day, that's the same level. So it's literally the highest close you got. If you go into the weeklies, right now you're trading above weekly res, which would be roughly around the 0.5 level on the there you go. So not really nothing to sell into other than that, really. Now if we go over here to the S&P 500 and look at it, I mean, it's literally postured itself. So we had a run above this swing high, so that was a liquidation. And then you remember this week was a holiday week, all right, holiday week, and boom, we're right back up. So now what I can see happening is a spike above and then a dump, if it's going to dump. We don't know what price is going to do. Price is a 50-50 shot, no matter what. No matter if you're bullish or bearish, you got a 50-50 shot. That's the probabilities, right? 50-50, not good. But anyways, we'll see what happens, but it literally looks like it could be that. Now, if we get bullish continuation, no matter what the print is, then, we're going to be making it higher and higher to the all-time high. Or I should say closer and closer. But let me get over here to this chart so you can see the measured move. Let's go daily here. This and this. Look at that. That's your measured move. If I pull up Thinkorswim charts right here, you haven't hit it yet. Oh, that's Tesla. Tesla is mooning pre-market. So you don't have it tagged yet. Obviously, the market is closed, but we can see the futures market via the S&P 500 here. So this tracks the futures market. But you can see that you are up into the top edge of the expected move, and you are 3 days into trade. So this could be an area to look for the market to fall back down. All right. So once you get above the expected move, however, if you get above it and you get bullish continuation, you're going to see a squeeze. So we have gotten above the upper edge of the expected move this week here. You can see you had 3-4 candles close above, way above the expected move there. And then this week we dropped under the expected move on Friday. This week right here, you on the last day, Friday, broke out and traded above the expected move. Last week was a holiday week. So here we are. So I'm bullish, right? I think it's bullish because the asset is bullish no matter how you look at it. No matter how you look at this is no longer a bear market pullback. You're in a new year, new trend. You're so close to the all-time highs. You've seen bullish continuations. Every indicator you look at is going to show you bullishness. This does show us a little bit of bearish div from there to there. However, it may still play out because you didn't test the 50. So I guess this bearish divergence is still in play. Let's see. On the weekly, do we have bearish divergence? No, we don't. But we are, well, yeah, I guess. Yeah, you do. From this week to this week, but that played out that week. Even though you didn't go anywhere, it was still a pullback. So you're trading above weekly res on the S&P 500. So yeah, I mean, literally anything can happen here this morning. So if you're bearish, what are you going to look for? Like, I'm bearish the S&P 500. Screw this. There's a inflation isn't going to go lower. We're going to see a recession. It's just a matter of time. And I'm going to short it right here. Well, I would suggest you wait until price gets above 4,463, then retreats. Then maybe only then would I look for a short. But I'm not bearish. Like I said, I bought Bitcoin on the open last night. Right there's the open. So it had the open, it pulled back. I was watching the trend line. I just took an entry there. And so far you can see it happening. There is our numbers. And first and foremost, we're getting a bullish pop. Where are we? It still doesn't have it here. It's coming in. Nothing. Reflect. Let's go back to the S&P 500. There's your breakout. So if you're short, you want to see this thing start to fall pretty damn soon. Give us our numbers. What the F? I still don't have the numbers. That's last month. Where's the numbers? Who's got the numbers? What's the numbers, chat? Sorry, future legends. What's the numbers? I don't have them. I mean, where's this stuff? What's up with that? 0.2. So I'm assuming that's month over month, which is good. That's a beat. That's the 0.2. We want to know what year over year is. 3.1. Did we come in under or above? The S&P 500 is treating it like we came in above. Thank you, Max. CPI over 2, expected food, energy, blah, blah. Yep, 4.8, 5%. 3.0, so it's a beat. Thank you, Michelle. Nice. So exactly. Fantastic stuff moving on here. Here's the dollar. We were expecting a breakdown. I want you to look at this breakdown. I mean, you gapped down yesterday that you had so much selling pressure from the close. When you opened again, it just gapped down, and you literally are like, that's a straight down move, ladies and gentlemen. Pull up pound. This thing's probably ripping faces off. It is. Euro USD. Like, literally everything you look at is bullish, right? It's bullish. Euro USD had a pullback here. Nice area to get long. And there she goes. So the long on Bitcoin that I took yesterday morning is up pretty good. Now we're having a pullback pretty hard. Let's see, because there's a lot of supply up here. This is the daily move. We already took out yesterday's low. So what we want to see is we want to see bullish continuation. We want to see a close above this. Will it happen today? It is absolutely possible. It's only moved 1% as of right now. 1%. You can see right there 0.98%, 0.95%. It's not really a very big move. Let me go ahead and take profits on this over here. It's set at a 309.30. 309. So it almost got the 309.80. And it's where it's having a bit of trouble. So tons of supply up in here. You can see when you close this was an immediate signal of bearishness. That's why I was figuring that this would ultimately roll over. But then we had this nastiness right there. So basically, since we closed above this area of resistance, we were just looking for bullish entries anywhere we could get. And 308.78. Oh, give me my position here. I got to take some of these profits. I'm up big. up big. 1 second, bear with me. No stop loss. I want to take profit. Let's see. Opening price, current price 308.29, 308.30. So let's try 308.30, and we want to take 70%. Of course, it's up above that. 308.34. So let's go for 38.40. Token has expired. What? Please log in. What are you talking about? I already logged in this morning, you bastard. So it wants me to log in, so I'm probably going to miss the bulk of that move. It's being sold off, as you can see there. Let's go back to the S&P 500 as it's being sold off. Not just yet. Not just yet, but you have fresh yearly highs. You're into an area of potential resistance now. Right there. So that's where you want to be, I guess. All right, so frickin' duck. So unprepared. I literally already signed in this morning. I do not understand this. Yeah, that sucks. All right, so Bitcoin all the way back down. So big spike to the upside and then right back down she goes, even though that we got a lower inflation print. So Bitcoin's literally trading on its own right now. I mean, if you just think about the dollar weakness that we've seen in the last 5 days straight down, the last 5 days of Bitcoin have been at best, right? At best. Oh, let me go ahead and do this again. At 308.56. And it's probably already above that again. There we go. All right, I got my take profit in. Thank God. All right, now here we go. So basically, people are wanting to know, can you sell it short? Yeah, potentially. I mean, there goes the fill. So now I am out of the position. I still have 30% of the position open for any bullish continuation. I shall move my stop up to break even. So there you go. Boom. Nice trade. Nice trade. So, I mean, that's basically all I was doing yesterday, right? I even posted it on Twitter last night because I knew today was going to be right there, right? That red line. Today, Bitcoin broke out above the trend line from the daily closes. So here is the daily fib. There is intraday support as we are opening a new day here. Remember, your traps exist, though, obviously. But that's what we were looking at. So it looks good, looks bullish. That's why I bought the open of yesterday for today. That way I didn't have to worry about it. And if the London session stopped me out, I would have been okay with it. But shorting it, it's still bullish, but it's not. It's like every time it gets up in here, it wants to sell off. So let's go look at April's high. Let's get rid of all this garbage. Here is April's high. Boop. Right there. So that's what caused resistance the other day. Right here. Like perfect resistance. So maybe if you get a spike up there, just selling it right where it is, you're selling into literally, I guess you could call 4-hour resistance here. Notice the 4-hour closes are higher and higher. So you are taking a reverse trend trade or against the trend. S&P 500 up almost a whole percent on the day, 0.8. That's a strong 4-hour candle. It's a strong 4-hour candle. I don't know if I would be looking to short it. Like I said, we've been bullish all year. We've been bullish all year, meaning wait for pullbacks to buy it. Bitcoin, I was short Bitcoin. I had a short bias on it just based on that move from the other day. So if you look at this, it looks like you went up, made a close, and then immediately with this candle set a bull trap. So from that point on, I was bearish. Then we had this freaking day that made fresh yearly highs, and then you broke down. So I felt like that's a good place to look for shorts. You know, anywhere we come into a level, which was there, and then it closed above it. So by closing above that, it literally changed my bias from bearish to neutral to bullish. You're still freaking bullish on the daily. And basically, you traded down to the 21 exponential moving average right there. So on this move lower, you got to bounce based on the 21, and the 21 is now situated fairly far under price. So at the very least, you're going to need a pullback to 3160 before you can look for bullish entries based off this daily support. As price moves higher, it sets higher support levels. But taking a sell, maybe if you get up above this level here and roll over, then you could look to short it. It would be completely out of the realm of the Fibonacci retracement, though. You could not, I mean, it would not be no longer a retracement. Well, yeah, the 702 is right there. So anything up in here, if you want to short it, just manage your risk. Throw your risk above the yearly high, and that means you would have to get back down to these lows to make a 2-to-1 risk to reward. All right. That would be the only analysis I could give. I truly expected us, if we beat like we did, to see a monstrosity move on Bitcoin just because of the way it's been lacking. I still do not have data. I still do not have this data. What is wrong with you? Investing.com. There we go. There we go. This is nice. Nice, nice, nice. So we looked at Trueflation yesterday. Trueflation has it lower. Oh, I cannot type. There you go. As of right now, they got 2.51%. Remember, the government reported rate is 3%. So the Fed's target rate is 2%. Are they gonna, let's see what the CME watch tool says now. Well, I screwed that up. Let me go over here. Pull this up. That, what is up with that? So here we go. Barely dropped. So it was 94%. Now it's 91%. So just a barely drop. So the markets are still pricing in that they are going to hike. So that could be the reason why you're not seeing much of a move on Bitcoin. Yeah. Let's see here. Good mornings to everybody. Good morning. How do you do, sir? Trueflation. Yeah, Trueflation is an independent website. The Fed uses 8,000 data points to decide whether or not inflation or where inflation is. All right. They use 8,000 data points. Trueflation uses 10 million data points. So basically, this is where they think that the CPI rate is 2.51%. And we know that the Fed's target rate is 2%. So literally, they do not have to hike anymore based on what CPI data has been telling them, right? You've literally been trending lower and lower and lower. There are other things that they look at, of course, not just this. There are other things that they see that they don't like. So they're going to continue to hike. But the only reason you need to hike rates is to get inflation down. And you're going to see a new inflation print at 3%. Whereas it's going to be right here. So when this thing adjusts, it's going to be literally 1 point off of the Fed's target rate. So they don't need to hike anymore. Right? I mean, it's falling, and it's falling fast. So the last 2 months, you literally dropped a whole point. So up in here, it was slow. Like 3 months, we were only getting like 0.1% move, 0.2% move, and then a 0.3% move. Then it started dropping fast, right? Started dropping quickly. So if I was the Fed, I would definitely stop hiking rates. I would let this thing see what it wants to do for next month. Maybe then you had your 2% target, right? And then you don't have to hike anymore. You don't literally have to force the country into a recession. And when this thing peaked out, I made the comment that literally said, as long as this number continues to trend lower, and you can see that's June the 1st. So June was when we got our highest print, 9.1% inflation rate. As long as this thing trended lower, risk assets would more than likely trend higher. And we have seen that. The problem is bonds and everything else is not doing so good. So there you go on the TLT. Yeah, you got a nice bounce, and then I don't know what that is. All of a sudden, you're back under the yearly opening range. So bonds are just not doing it, right? Not doing it. And then obviously you're still got your yield curve inversions, and there's many of them. There's not just the 3-month, 10-year. There's like almost all of them are inverted. So yeah, there's going to be some things happen that will be different. We shall see. We got a nice bullish engulfing monthly on Bitcoin last month. So I would like to see bullish continuation. We are also almost to the midpoint of this day of the month rolling over. So on, say, the 12th or something like that. No, today's the 12th. The 15th, Bitcoin could roll over and start heading lower to make a lower month, if it's going to make a lower month. The question is the low of the month in or not? And if it is in, then we would expect higher prices. But you can see that there's very little momentum. And we've been in a new month for a while. Weeklies, here you are. I mean, nice, big, strong week. And then for 3 weeks, you've been trading literally in a small, tiny range. Weekly support is here. And you've had some dips below it, but price has basically been able to maintain above that. So that's your weekly support. This is not very bullish either. This is very slow, just very slow. A 1% move on the day is not a big move for Bitcoin. I mean, just look at this day. Right here it was the open. This red candle was the open. Then you moved up. And then you came back down and closed here on this candle. So that day was a massive move, up and down. So you moved up 3.3%, and then from high to low, or close to high to low, 5.7%, right? So we know it can move. It just isn't. Now, we have been talking lately about this new thing that we're going to do because most of the people that watch my videos are from America. I got statistics that tell me that stuff, right? And most of the people that watch, like, it's mostly overwhelming. It's bad. So if most of the people are watching my content from America, they're finding it harder and harder to trade. There are people in the Discord as of June 22nd, which was last month, saying that they are still able to trade on KuCoin. I don't know if it's still true to this day, but as of June 22nd, it was. So we're going to start focusing a lot more on Forex and stocks, basically because Americans can trade those. And when I say stocks, I mostly mean options. Mostly mean options. As you know, we definitely trade everything over here, but U.S. is making it more difficult every single day almost. All right, new Google Doc. RPRX. Pharmaceuticals, a strong buy. This is an AI it's a chat GBT for stocks and options. It literally gives you like deep in the money. Steepness score 26.73%. I can't look at percentages because the option market is not open yet. to give you an idea of what it's wanting you to do. So it literally wants you to buy the August the 18th 2250 call. That's a deep in the money. That's going to be more than likely not a very high probable trade. Let me pull it up over there. RPRX. It's not even, it doesn't even have weeklies. So if you buy it, like, this doesn't even have weeklies. So I typically don't trade stocks that don't have weeklies. These are only monthly expirations. There's 9 days left on the July 21 contract. You can see 37 days next. There are 100 days next. So these things are literally quarterlies. Yeah, there is no weeklies on this. So you wouldn't want to trade this. And you definitely would not want to buy 37 days out deep in the money. It has a high delta, but that's like 87% chance that that you could make money, but you would have to make, like, you would need the stock to get $13.50 higher than the price in order for you to just break even on buying that, because you're paying such a high premium. But yeah, don't trade anything that has quarterlies. Only you want to trade stuff that definitely has weeklies. But you got a lot of stuff down here: AT&T, Dish, VFC, Israel Chemicals, Plug Power, 10 10 10 10 10 10. This is 9 10 8 5. Shares, volume score, option, volume score, low volume, high volume. Got it. Low risk is 1 to 10. And then you got your AI algo ratings that buy, strong buy, strong buy, strong buy. Dish Network is a strong buy. I thought AT&T owned Dish. I thought for sure AT&T owned this company. Yeah, it's a strong buy simply because it's been absolutely annihilated. Not a lot of dishes out there anymore, probably. Because more people stream, right? More streaming, and as soon as Elon Musk gets done with his project, you'll pretty much be able to get internet literally anywhere in the world, so you'll be able to stream. So dishes are, in my opinion, probably not something I would want to invest in. However, I mean, it's cheap. Just from the 2021 highs, you're down 84%, 85%. So it's definitely cheap, but will it get its stuff together? That's the question. That is the question. So the S&P 500 pulling back after a strong move to the upside. I would not call that a liquidation. I mean, you have liquidated, but it is moving up. You are well above the expected range for the week. So, yeah. If it would get on a short squeeze, you could see this thing just moon today. We'll see how it happens. We'll see how it goes during the market open, see what's going on, because most of the time this stuff's already priced in, which could have been priced in yesterday and the day before. So a pullback could be inevitable. And if it's sad to say, but Bitcoin is almost back to the open, literally. So yeah, there you go. Once again, Bitcoin gets up in this area and then just takes a dump. It's been doing that ever since it got here. Ever since this area right there, Bitcoin has had massive struggling to get any kind of bullish momentum. But the thing is it's been not been able to get any bearish momentum either. So the unfortunate thing about it is if this thing is going to break either to the downside or to the upside. If I took the short, I would definitely be looking to take profits at the open of the day. That's where I would take profits, which would be 30517 if you did take a short on it. The problem was where it didn't hit any lines. But it could have been, you could have been shorting it. I mean, obviously. It's always a 50-50 shot when you do these things. Yeah, Brian said he only uses weeklies and he only uses 1 and 10-10. So where is these here and ones? So he doesn't use anything else. He's got a high hit rate. He showed me his portfolio yesterday by using this thing. But he's got a lot more money than most people have, as far as what I've seen in the trading, world. A lot of people don't have the money he's got. So he's able to make, decent money on just, 2, 3, 4% moves. And that's not on the underlying, that's on the option. The option that he purchases. He's just looking for a couple percent move, and options can move, as we've seen in the past. Aussie dollar getting a strong move to the upside. However, the way this thing's been trading, it's very range bound, but down. Like, it did get up above the yearly opening range right here and then took a tumble. So I would probably be more keen to look for selling on this. But as you can see today, it's literally breaking out. So this was the 50 test, and today you're breaking out. So today could be a trap. So if tomorrow you get, tomorrow you could look for bearish entries on this, depending on where today closes. If today closes strong, I don't know if I would look for bearish entries on it, because this was a very big move from yearly lows all the way back up to the yearly open. But then it fell, right? And fell right back into this overall range, which is disgusting trading. CAD Swiss short is still working out. If you took that, you're getting ready to be in the oversold department. So you could see a bounce soon on this. We got some daily support right there. That is also weekly support. I mean, that was a phenomenal call. Beautiful. This thing is moving to the downside. This is still not doing anything. Still not doing anything, but yeah, it's been playing around this right here for a long time. Let's see here. What else? USD JPY looking good. So that long did not work out. It worked yesterday. The trade yesterday worked beautifully. It worked to perfection. Went right up to the take profit, and then here we go. All right. So yesterday it did bounce very, very, very low bounce, and then fell right back down. You got some daily supports coming up. You've actually tagged them right there. Also, this should be under the 50 by now. Yeah, it is well under the 50. So that we want to see that continue down as well. Let's get some moving averages on this beast. Let's get them both up there. All right, so this could be a trap too. In a trending condition, the 50 usually does a pretty good job. But here and there, you can see where it gets under and then plays around for a week or two. So we'll see what happens here. But we're definitely wanting to see this thing fall off the face of the planet. For sure. For sure. But good trades, right? Fantastic trades. Euro USD was beautiful. Made a bear trap right there. And up she went. That is clearly not daily res. So opportunity would have been there. Back to the old resistance. Anytime you get a trap, old resistance is where you look for your entries, not the new resistance. And you didn't get a full-on beautiful retest of it, but it came close. So that would have been the entry point for that. Euro USD in Q1 is up. It literally hasn't liquidated anything yet. We shall see what happens. Long pound dollar off the 1 hour heat level. What, here? No, I wouldn't. If it comes all the way back down there, it's not going to look good. It's going to be a liquidation of yesterday. Or no, that's today. All the way to there. That's the day's range. There's your daily open. You set a daily high. The London session rolled over. Dumped. And then you got a nice move to the upside because the DXY was obviously pushing down. But it's oversold now, so you got to be very careful. We got supports that we've broken down under, monthly supports, a weekly heat level here, and the monthly support there. So we wanted to see it break down. We have gotten that breakdown, but you're getting into a wedge. The wedge don't look that good. I can't remember which time frame that I took that on. The weekly. All right, so there's your weekly closes. So your weekly wedge. That's also going to be support. So we lost all that stuff is good. So we can get rid of this. We can get rid of that. Hang on. Yeah, that looks fantastic. But these are typically looked at as bullish patterns. I don't trade patterns, but I always mention them if I see them for the people that do trade them. Just keep in mind that it's very impossible to be consistent when you're trading a shitload of different patterns. But this line is based off the weekly closes. So you're getting pretty damn close to getting down there. That's going to be your last weekly support. You're trading under it. So I could definitely see a bounce from here. So what we got to do is we got to see where could the bounce potentially get to. Well, it depends on how bearish it is, really. Because we've seen the bounce on USD, Japanese yen yesterday. It was literally a midpoint bounce. So if we get continuation push, we'll watch for that. But you could come all the way back to test the weekly open. I don't know if you would. I would say probably I would like to see it if it does pull back just to right there and go back down. But it is range bound still. But you're getting very, very close to making fresh yearly lows, which would make it a trend lower. It's what we were wanting to see. So when all this was going on, I was getting very, very impatient with the dollar. But then we dropped, boom, down. Love it. No reason for the Fed to hike anymore, in my opinion. I am right there with you. At this rate, you will see deflation in a couple. Yes, exactly. Yeah, I am right there with you. What is he smoking? Me? That's none of your business. That's where I trade my crypto. The USD JPY long, looking at weekly viable. Yeah. At this point, I would be very willing to say that you've broken your uptrend. On the daily, you have broken the uptrend. You are still good on the weekly. right? You're still good on the weekly. The problem is that's a lot of volatility. So what I mean is you've erased all these gains in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, you're right back to weekly support. So yeah, a long could be in order if you hold support right there. And then you would just want to get your stop under that low. That is if you get back above it and then start holding it as support. But as of right now, man, this thing is cooking to the downside. Yes, eventually it's going to bounce. Stuff doesn't just go in a straight line. This was pretty much a straight line, but eventually it is going to bounce. Unless the BOJ is absolutely doing something, which they have not said publicly they are. There's a lot riding on the BOJ. But yeah, most of these trades that we were looking at, they've already played out. Like the USD CAD short, the CAD Swiss short, USD JPY short, pound short did not work, but that was just a hedge play against all the short dollar positions I had on, right? So I did take a short here, but it was just based on, like I said, a hedge. Obviously, I took profits when it moved down, moved my stop to break even, and then I got stopped out the very next day. So that short hedge didn't work out. I mean, it worked out as far as putting a couple % profit on the P&L, but it didn't work out as that dollar short hedge. Because, like I said, I've been short the dollar for a long time. I've been short it for a long, long time. All right. Barking, inflation is still too high. Yeah, it is. It's above 2%. But what they're not taking into account is at the rapid pace that it has dropped the last 2 months. It has dropped a full percentage point in the last 2 months. We could look at what the talking heads are saying about it.
Forex.com, the #1 Forex broker. The Fed is raising the interest rates, signaling trading opportunities.
As we spin up.
Kashkari of Minneapolis speaking later this hour. Bostic speaking later on today. We'll hear from the likes of Mester as well. I believe we get the base book from the Federal Reserve later too. Then it's on to Daly and Waller later this week. They'll speak tomorrow. Mike, are the Fed speakers right now going into this July meeting before the quiet period? Who have you got your eye on?
Well, I think you want to keep an eye on Raphael Bostic, who has already said that he doesn't think we need to raise anymore. And so he may make...
All right, so right there, Bostic says he thinks that we don't have to raise anymore. Barkin is more hawkish. So Powell was extremely hawkish the last time he spoke on that whatever thing that they did when they had all... The BOJ was there, the ECB, all of them were there. He was still being very, very hawkish. So we shall see. Bitcoin still roughly around that midpoint of today's range, 0.53%. We did see it briefly hit almost 1%. We got up to 0.98% on Bitcoin. So we're testing that midpoint on the daily range here. So let's see what happens. If I was going if I was going to be getting short, I would probably watch this area right here, as it's only a 0.5% probability or a 0.5% move that you would be looking for, because there is your open. So that's the open. The open of that bearish candle is Bitcoin's daily open. So there's your daily range on Bitcoin. So if that hourly resistance does not hold, like if you close above it, I would not be looking for shorts. I would wait for the upper 31,050 level. Watch what happens up there. Because up there, you have a full percent potential short instead of a 0.5%. Now, levered up, obviously, that 0.5% could make quite a bit of money depending on your leverage, but leverage is a two-way sword. That means your stop loss is going to have to be more narrow. So with that wick there, it almost takes any shorts out of play. The only people that are still good are the people that shorted up there. And the reason that I got April's high up there is because that's literally where we turned around the other day. And you turned around hard there the other day. So this very slow, meager, bullish price action trading right back up to it, it's just, it doesn't look bullish to me. It just looks like it's blah still. Like, we got other markets trending to the upside, risk markets trending to the upside. Bitcoin still trading in a massive range. So like all of this is not a range. It's a pullback, and then you got a nice move back to the upside, making fresh yearly highs today. Fresh yearly highs. Now the open coming in 20 minutes, could see it get sold off.
That case more forcefully. Loretta Mester at the other end of the spectrum. Let's see if she eases off her thoughts somewhat. And then you mentioned Krishna mentioned Chris Waller. It was out here at this Rocky Mountain Economic Summit a year ago that he said we could bring inflation down without unemployment rising significantly. And that drew a sharp response from Larry Summers and Olivier Blanchard. And they went
and
back
that's
and
exactly
forth.
what's happened. So far, that's exactly what's happened. Inflation has come down without the labor market getting all out of whack, which is a good thing. It's literally the only thing that's holding the economy together right now is this labor market. It is strong. It is strong. Everybody anticipated it breaking up to at least 4.2, 4.5 with the raising of the interest rates to try to beat inflation. But like I said, they're not just looking at that number. They're not just looking at this number. This is their target range, but they're also watching other indexes and other things, right? And other things is showing inflation is still just a tad bit stickier than they would like. They want to see jobs, wages. They want to see that come down. So let's look at this one. So this is good. Right, it was sticky up there around 0.4%, and then boom, nice drop down to 0.2%. So that's good. This is good. Core CPI year over year. This is another thing that they're watching, that they're saying is still, too high. And it is. They want this stuff back down around 2% as well. This is the range they want on this. And they're still high, right? It's still high. It's still 4.8. But it's still a nice drop. It's still a beat, right? 5.3, you can see 5.7, 5.6, 5.5, back up to 5.6, back down to 5.5, 5.3. So it is trending in the right direction. It's just not getting like those big drops like we are seeing on the unemployment rate. The actual unemployment rate, or not unemployment, but the United States inflation rate. ETH up 0.6% as well. ETH doesn't look as good as Bitcoin. ETH is actually red on the month. Red on the month. It's trading in this 2-week range here. 2-week resistance up there. That's where you close the last 2-week session. This does look good, though. It looks constructive. As you did break out, you're coming in for a pullback. A midpoint test of this candle looks good as long as you get bullish from there. So let's see where the midpoint test would put this thing. Right there. It tested it. No matter what, let's go up, because it was up. So you need to go up. And it's still there. It's still the 50% mark of the candle. And then if you go into the daily, this is what you get, right? That's that week of going up, closing strong, and then a pullback. You're not getting any kind of strong bullish continuation, though. So, yeah. Same thing as Bitcoin. It's just kind of bleh. Like, no interest in this asset at all. Let's check Bitcoin dominance. Where is it at? So it did break out finally from this longer term monthly range that we were watching down here. He did break out. So Bitcoin dominance still looks good. We just need to get some bullish continuation. It's still early on in the month, though. All we need is a nice fat breakout. That's what we need. Big candle like this, and then followed up by another one of those. That would put us well into the $34,000-$35,000 range that we are expecting it to go for the year 2023. That's about as high as I'm expecting it to go, if it even gets there. And it's just simply based off of monthly support that was never retested, and the fact that you got a CME gap up there at the exact same place as that untested monthly support. So that was the first time that we got a 21 exponential moving average check. So that is kind of bullish since the breakout, right? You trade sideways enough, then eventually price gets pulled right back into this. So, and you can see that Bitcoin has been bullish ever since that test. So it is still bullish. You're still in bullish territory. It needs to go. You need those buyers. That was good news, but we haven't really heard anything else to follow it up. But technicals look good on it. There's your technicals on Bitcoin. That's fabulous. Right? Fabulous. So right here is where you got your golden cross. And now they are splayed out the way you want to see them splayed out for bullish continuation. And that's on all risk assets. All of them. There we go, getting higher. Taking out the daily high. Did we? Yes, we did. So you got a fresh daily high, a fresh yearly high. 15 minutes into the open. That's where I trade my crypto. What's the option spreadsheet? This is a chat GPT. So basically what the AI that they use, they've somehow converted that into a stock chat GPT. So it's AI literally making market calls. Unfortunately, I don't like this because, if it ends up being very, very good, it's going to put most YouTubers out of business, which is okay for me. I don't care about that because the money the high probable money generating consistent month over month returns comes from options, right? When you are trading with leverage, directionally biased, you are at a 50% chance of being right. That's it. And also, if you buy options only, all right, so like if you only buy options, let's pull up something that people love to trade. Tesla. All right, beautiful. So no matter where you go out in time, you only have a 50% chance of being right at buying in the money options. This is your delta. This is your percentage chance. You will only ever have a 50% chance, no matter which option you buy. Obviously, the further out of the money you go, the lower and lower your percent chances of being correct are. Probabilities. But there are option strategies out there that you can get almost 100% percentage rates as far as probabilities are concerned, but you still could lose money, right? It's making $1 to make, or paying $1 to make $2, stuff like that. Vertical spreads, whatever, any kind of spreads. Those are the things that make consistent returns over and over again. But the problem is what people find themselves doing is A, they don't have the margin, or B, they go for the big trade. They get right and they're right and they're right and they're right. And then finally they go super huge in something like the SPX, and then they get wiped out. So all the profits that they generated for the last 4 months got taken out by one stupid trade. But we're gonna start talking a lot about options in the future, because that's where we're gonna go. I'm still gonna be trading Bitcoin. Obviously, I'm not saying that I'm gonna stop. Bitcoin is the top on the watch list just because of the gains that this thing can have. But the problem is, as I said, is it's getting harder and harder for you as citizens to trade futures. And futures is the only way that you can hedge your Bitcoin holdings. So literally what I mean by that is if you hold spot Bitcoin in a wallet, a cold storage wallet, you have a directional bias to the long side. You are in risk, right? Hedging with futures gives you the opportunity to not only, it gives you the ability to not only control risk, but actually be able to make money in a bearish market with futures, because you can hold spot long Bitcoin and short the futures with a relevant size and literally make more Bitcoin through the bear market. That's what I did all of 2022. I was just shorting futures, and all the profits I would just straight move to cold storage, move to cold storage, move to cold storage. And now I have a rather nice chunk of Bitcoin, more than I ever would have if I would have just been buying it. So futures gives you the ability to completely hedge out all of your risk on Bitcoin. So if we don't have the ability to trade that, then sitting in long Bitcoin position only, you're stuck with market volatility, and there's nothing you can do about it. Nothing at all. So that's why futures are so important. And that's what options provides you via the stock market. There are many strategies that have very high hit rates, but people don't want to make 1 to 2 or 2 to 1, right? They always want to make big money. They always want to buy the complete and total way out of the money, 21% chance of making anything. And then they want that to explode up to 1,000% so they can 1,000x their account. Then you will end up blowing it. The probabilities show you that. If you do that same trade over and over and over again, you have a 38% chance of making 1 penny. Eventually, that is going to get you, and it's going to get you bad, because you're on the wrong side of the probability. You're on the wrong side of the bell curve. That cat Swiss short is looking beautiful, says Chris. Yes, it is. What is that option spreadsheet? I already said that. It's options GBT. It's right here. We have access to it in the Discord. It is not a free service, but you can pay for it if you want on your own. But if you're in the Discord, you don't have to pay for it. It's already being paid for. So yeah, there's that. Good afternoon, says Old Rope 63. Good afternoon. When the market open, I think a big dump will happen in Bitcoin since no bullish momentum is present at the moment. It's very possible. It's very possible. The market is going to open before this hourly candle closes, but you can see here that they are making higher closes, right? This was your one. This right here would have been the one thing that would have given you a potential bearish signal, is if this bad boy would have closed right under that, and it did not. It bounced. It bounced. This is the opening price, and price is still consistently moving away. We'll see what happens. The open is in 8 minutes. Can I check still? Oh, wait. Can you please check JD? Yeah, give me 1 second. Smoke my dope, take my pills. Let's move on. That was a joke. YouTube, just kidding. Hi, let's go check JD. JD, I said, not /JD. JD.com. This is used to be irrelevant, like a very good company. I mean, look, earnings is freaking always, yeah. Let's see if they make money. I got so many tabs up here that I don't even need. All right, Finbiz. Let's go check JD.coms. Yeah, they make money. 2.71 billion is their income. That's a nice income. Let's go ahead and get the yearly open. They're not doing good this year. Yeah, I mean, they're not doing good. But maybe they're setting in a low, as they did liquidate this swing low. So, yeah, this is a weekly time frame. You got support here. That's got to be white. And then you got, I said white. And then the next support or area to watch for bullish entries is there. Now, pre-market, you're gapping up pretty big. And this thing gaps a lot. It's gappy, as most stocks are. But yeah, you're gapping up all the way up there. 37, 36. Is this for a long-term investment or a trade? Because you made a higher high here, and this is a higher low. So you have started a potential reversal. All right. This was a massive move to the downside, and you liquidated that for 3-4 days and shot straight out, took out this high. You have pulled back, but you did not take out the low. So you do currently have a higher high, higher low. So if this is going to be a reversal, you need to wait for a pullback into a support zone. And as of right now, the only two supports that you have is 33.10, 34.13. So you need to wait for a daily bearish candle or three to happen in this upward sequence. So you might close today bearish if you do fill the gap, right? If you do fill this gap, maybe if that occurs, you could look to be a buyer there, 36.25-ish. If it's for a long-term investment, you're not using any leverage, you can buy it literally anywhere in this area, as it's not going to make much difference according to, if it becomes bullish again. I mean, buying it, say, if you bought it at the pre-market, if it gets back to the yearly opening range this year, you're going to be looking at a 54% return. And I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying you could literally buy it on the open as long as you're not using leverage. If you're wanting to hold it long term. If you get back down and you take out these lows, you just exit the position and wait for a new support to be formed. Silver looking good under its yearly opening range, but trying to get its butt right back up there. Silver set in a low of year, then a high of year, and then you've pulled back. So this was dollar strength, but since we've now been seeing dollar weakness, that can help silver to the upside. As long as you're seeing dollar weakness, silver could be a buy at support. You don't want to buy it now because the dollar's coming into a region where we could definitely see it bounce. I mean, that's a pretty good size move to the downside in 2 weeks. So pretty fantastic stuff. So let's go back to silver, XAGUSD. So yeah, it looks good, but you're going to find resistance here because you have been making lower highs and lower lows since you've made a fresh yearly high. Well, that doesn't work. All right, so that's your yearly high up there. You did not liquidate that wick over there, but I thought it was going to, and then we had this dump. So puke, puke. But now that we're getting dollar strength, yeah. You got to do it's same thing though, my man. You got to wait on support. You guys have to retrain your brains to not buy highs. Now, if you're looking for a short, understand something, you are coming into an area where I would potentially look for shorts. However, look at this freaking momentum. I never like to short in that. That's big momentum there. Now, if you get back down to here, that's gonna be a huge bearish sign. So trying to short something that has this much momentum is difficult because you're literally making fresh daily highs with each 5-minute candle. All right, so look, you could tell people were definitely trying to short there. All right, definitely trying their shorts there and taking profits. And then since then, boom, boom, boom. You're just, so that stop out. If you stop, put your stop above that candle, you're stopped. Where are you going to put your stop, right? This has extreme amount of momentum in it right now. So I typically don't want to short into something like that. All right, so the market's open, silver's still pushing up. Yeah, so that's where it bounced from, right there. Old daily support. So what I mean by that is support was formed, then you got to push higher, but it was a lower high, and then this was a breakdown. Boom, right through support. Made its leg to the downside. This is its push up. So right here is where people were looking to A, take profits, and B, set new shorts for downside continuation. And you can see how that turned out. So you're in the midst of a short squeeze right now. So on the market open, this thing is pushing straight up to the yearly opening range, which is extremely overbought on the hourly. It's the most overbought it's been since February on the hourly time frame. Lots of juice there. So if you are going to look for shorts, there would be the place. Longs, you got to see it pull back. It's got to pull back to an area of support. And on the daily, let's see here. So today only is the reason you're getting the bounce. Yeah, your moving average are jacked up. Jacked up. All right, so there you go. So you're breaking out so far. Obviously, you need the yellow 21 to be above that green 50. Tesla's coming down hard at the open. Bitcoin is coming down hard at the open. Back down to 2. So Tesla gapped up, pulling back on the open. Right there. JD.com gapped up super huge. Is it pulling back on the open? Slightly. Bitcoin almost at the open. So big dump there. See that hourly res? That's the stuff right there. That's the price I said, wait, watch. I mean, it got above it, but as soon as it got back under it, that's when you hit the sell button if you want to short it. Let me pull this down here. All right. I want this gone. There. So I have my stop set to break even. So even if it does come all the way back down and take me out, which I'm under the open, I bought here. My actual bullish entry last night was 30498. So 30498 right there. And clearly, Coinbase did not get that low, but Bitget did. That is my entry, 30498. Almost exactly. Because it's 0.0 on my side on the entry over there. This is 0.68, but there's no way I'm going to get 68 cents. No way. All right. BNB. Do you think BNB good too long if the market is stable? I don't know, man. I don't want the market cap. I want the actual. Let's pull this up. So, yeah, it's range bound. It's range bound. I got that perfect. Under your yearly opening range. Or now you're above it. So I don't know, man. I don't like it. Yeah, that marks your yearly high. And then yeah, just to get back to resistance is all the way up to 509. So if you think it's going to go there, then yeah, right here's a good area to buy. If you think it's going to go back up, that's the area to be a buyer. But you can see each time you've gotten above this, it's been sold off. But it hasn't, it's been like Bitcoin, right? The bears have not been able to get any kind of continuation. So you're just bouncing from resistance to support. It's literally the market trying to find out if there's more supply or demand, and eventually it will. So when a market is range bound like this, you just got to wait for the outer edges of the range to look for those entries. Unfortunately, you broke down last month, so even the 2-week, yeah, I mean there's your range. It's literally just weeklies. You're above weekly resistance right now. So, I mean, as of right now, it looks decent, but this is also an area where people will look to short 254 and 246. They'll look to short A because they think price is going to get back under the yearly opening range, and they'll look to short B because they're waiting for last week's liquidation. But at that point, depending on if it closes bullish or not, you would have an engulfing. Nope, not quite, because you didn't take out the low either. So you're just trading inside last week's range. And you did not close above resistance. That's your highest daily close right there. Even you were above it briefly today, you are now back under it. So if it's going to go higher, you would want to see it go higher here. But you haven't broken out of anything. You're still trading inside of its range. So Bitcoin testing the open right now. If I were going to expect bullish continuation, I would want to see there. The S&P 500 is still up. Nothing really happened to it. So let's pull this up, see what we got. Yeah, mostly buying going on in today's range. So many buyers up here, and they didn't, and it just dropped. That's the problem. Just nothing but bids up there. So here we go. Pulling into yesterday's roughly midpoint. you make a fresh daily low, would it be a good idea to buy it? Well, risk assets are still doing good. I just got stopped out. You still haven't made a fresh daily low yet? There's your fresh daily low. So if you want to buy, buy. Of course, you got to find the stop loss, but it's got a lot of momentum moving down intraday. You did just make a fresh daily low. Does it continue? The XY is like cranking to the downside. So be a buyer on Bitcoin. Now you just made a fresh daily low. So what I would watch is I would watch hourly closes at that line. If you get any hourly closes back below that, then you're probably going to get stopped out if you take a buy. But this is nothing. Like I said, you're moving within 1% up and 1% down. This could turn around and move up 5%. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but that's where I'd be a buyer if I thought I was going to see bullish continuation. But Bitcoin is not trading with risk assets right now, and it is not trading inversely to the dollar. It is trading on its own merit, which means it's fighting to find buyers and sellers. But it does look bad. So yeah, that was the place, I guess, to watch. Watch that area. You close an hourly under it, I'd leave it alone. Wait for another support test. Yeah, weekly resistance is just too much for this thing. So this is weekly resistance. Michelle's got a rolly, smiley, laughy face. I don't know what that's about. JD for short-term trade. Yeah, it's probably going to be a short today because it gapped up so big, but the market is still pushing up. So yeah, no, it is. It's still. I mean, S&P 500 is pushing up. They're still roughly at 0.84%. So there is a huge gap. Right? This is where you closed yesterday. This is where you opened today. So that's a pretty big gap. So I could see a pullback at least down to yesterday's high. 36.39. The S&P now finally starting to roll over. Volume coming in here. This is what you want to see for shorts. You want to see that volume happening. Bitcoin, it did not do nothing. You see any demand picking up in here? So if you start to see these things start sticking out, then I would be a buyer. But as long as nothing is going on there, then probably going to see downside continuation. So Johan was watching the 618 retracement. So if he took the short, you made money, or he made money. Just waiting for it to get back under it. All right. Thanks, my man. I'm swing trading silver until 28, possibly 30, just waiting for a meaningful support level. All right. Can you take a look at pound USD, please? Yeah, we looked at pound USD a little bit earlier, but you were probably not here. Yeah, I mean, it's just moving up. The dollar's getting killed today because of that inflation print. Lovely stuff, man. I mean, we called that to perfection. I don't understand why Bitcoin can't get any bullish momentum. Bitcoin should be already have broken out. That's why I'm so hesitant about it, right? Because like NASDAQ, everything is killing it. Like on the year. Bitcoin is killing it on the year, but for the last 4 weeks, we've done nothing. But back to the pound, I mean, there's really nothing to do on it. I mean, what are you looking to do? This was clearly a buying opportunity. Look where the freaking 50 is. Like, you gotta wait for that to happen again, or at least wait for some bearish candles and then look to see if it gets. But I mean, you're overbought. This is the daily. This is your yearly range right there. Bwah. Explosion to the upside. So it's definitely been outperforming the dollar. It's literally outperforming everything this year. Because here's your USD based on year to date price. Aussie dollars bearish on the year. NZD dollars bearish on the year. USD CAD bearish on the year. So, like, pound has been the strongest currency all year. It's been stronger than everything else. Euro would be the second. Pound is up 7.49% on the year. And the euro is up 3.58% on the year. The pound has been killing it. So just wait for a pullback into support and look to be a buyer, as it's been trending all year nicely to the upside. Nicely. You're confused, don't panic. Yeah, I don't panic when I get confused, trust me. I have lost so many brain cells over the years. And I had a stroke last year. That didn't help much. That's why it's difficult for me to pull out words sometimes. My IQ went down like 50%. I got lucky. I'm able to move and everything like that because the doctor said where it happened inside of my brain was my personality section, whatever that means. Oh, I guess I'm nicer now than I used to be. I don't know. It's all good though. Yeah, for real. I ain't lying. Well, I went into AFib last year. And when I went into AFib is when like half of your heart stops working. Like your heart is split into two sections. You got your upper chamber and your lower chamber. So that's why it's thump 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 thump, is because the bottom and then the top, the bottom and then the top, the bottom and the top, thump 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 thump. When you have AFib, you're only the bottom is pumping, not the top. The top is just like not doing anything. So your heart doesn't have that rhythm that it's supposed to. When that happens, it's like for some reason it just throws clots everywhere. So I have to take $700 a month medication for the rest of my life because of that. $700 a month, and I gotta take 2 of those a day. It's like $20 a pill. It's insane. I don't have insurance. I'd rather pay cash for everything, but $500 a month on those. It's like, what? Are you kidding me? What would a person that doesn't have means or insurance do if they needed this to survive? They literally, medication's insane. But yeah, it sucked. Since that, I've went back into AFib 3 times. So obviously I got life changes I need to make. So yeah. But yeah. Doesn't affect the trading at all. Just sometimes I have trouble pulling words out of my head. I know the freaking word. It's right on the tip of my tongue. I just can't get it out. That stuff's all new. Well, a year ago. Anyways, moving forward onto happier thoughts. We almost have fresh yearly highs on the euro. Woot woot! Which is what we were predicting. There it is. There it is. Oh man, that's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So if you do make fresh yearly highs, you can say technically this thing is trending up. As there's your yearly open, there is your old yearly high, there is your yearly low, fresh yearly high, higher, low, new, higher, high. Could it pull back after liquidating that? Absolutely. But the DXY is literally about to make fresh yearly lows. Bitcoin, what are you doing, dude? Like, literally about to make fresh yearly lows. And Bitcoin is just puttering along. La-di-di-da, la-di-di-da. I think, man, I'm going to be highly upset if Bitcoin continues to the upside today because it came down and stopped me out after I took profits, but still, a lot of things are happening right now. This is big stuff, man. You're making fresh yearly lows almost on the dollar. I didn't think it would happen that quick, where it hasn't happened, but like you are close, baby. Close. What a trade that was. What's USD JPY doing? It's down almost a whole %. So what's JPY doing? JPY is up 1%. Look at that. Swiss franc up a whole %. New Zealand up over 1%, 1.2%, and Aussie up 1.4%. Dollar down 0.75%. So USD JPY should look nasty today. Nasty. We have a bearish target of 123 on this asset. Long term. But it's unlikely to happen if Japanese yen continues to be so freaking weak. But it is nice and strong for the last couple days. And momentous with that. The jab. Yeah. I hope you cut back on the smoking. Just gotta quit. Smoking is a very, very, very bad habit. It's literally what's causing it. And I was a heavy drinker as well, so nothing above health. No, absolutely. I agree 100%. That's why I'm trying to do what I can do for everybody, because you never know. Yeah, the AFib caused it. Yeah, they know exactly what caused it. Yup. I was in the hospital for 5 days. The first time, 3 days the second time, and the third time that I went AFib, I didn't even go to the doctor. Because it's just, I have a thyroid issue also. The thyroid overproduces, so that's a huge cause of AFib as well. So you can be healthy as a horse as far as not smoking and not drinking and all of that stuff. If you just have an overactive thyroid, it could literally cause you to go into AFib. But AFib is dangerous because, like I said, when it happens, especially the first time it happens to a human, if you got any blood clots anywhere, you it's a very good high chance you're going to have a stroke. I got very, very lucky. Like I said, if it would have happened anywhere else, then I would have been heavily affected. Like with motor skills and stuff like that. I can still walk, talk, everything's fine. But yeah, I don't want to talk about that stuff. Let's continue to talk about the markets, shall we? So Tesla's still pulling back pretty hard. Yeah. Bitcoin struggling to get anything going at the daily open, as it did pull back up to the daily open. So right there's your daily open. So you broke down. This is the wick that took me out, because I entered right in there, and then I moved my stop to break even, of course. So took me out. Then you tested your open, and so yeah, if you want to be a buyer, buy it under there. Another retest of this would be nice, but you might not get it, and it might still go down, right? It doesn't mean it's gonna go up. It's just not, it's not uber bearish, and everything else is uber freaking bullish. There's the S&P 500, the SPY up 1%, NASDAQ up 1.12%. Looking good, looking good. Dow Jones, boom. Where is the rut? The rut also gapping up the Russell. Let's use IWM instead. There you go. This got more liquidity in it, so looking good. See, broke back above the yearly open, pulled back again, up, up she goes. If the Russell continues to move up and Dow Jones continues to move up, you're going to see fresh all-time highs on the S&P 500. That's a almost guaranteed fact. If the rut and the Dow Jones continue to make higher highs and higher lows, you will see new all-time highs on S&P 500. Because then it won't just be tech moving the marketplace. It will be other stocks moving the marketplace. You're clearly into a short squeeze because this is the expected move for the top of the range. So anybody that sold calls up there, you know, they got called the stock. Hopefully they close that position, but unfortunately, this happened before the market opened. This happened at 8:30. So this is why calling or just selling naked calls is not very good. Not very good at all. You got to know what strikes to use and stuff like that. Eliminate that risk also by buying something, so that way you don't get called away. Shall I send you some from UK? What is that? Some what? Let me see if I can find. Yeah, I don't understand what you mean. Old Rope 63. Shall I send you some what? I've had a brain stroke 7 times in one day. Whoa. 3 of which in the scanner. I am now completely rejected at home, but can still move everything. I was lucky. I was 43 when it happened. I am 55 now. I am 42, Johan. So it happened when I was 41. Did the doctor tell me? No, the doctor said quit freaking smoking and don't drink ever again, is what he said. Yeah, that's his advice. Also, I got to take medication to keep my thyroid like at a level that my body likes, which unfortunately, if you don't know anything about thyroids, they like are hormones. So like if you have a very low thyroid, then you're like blah all day, right? You have no energy. You just want to lay on the couch. It's not depression. It's literally your hormones are just freaking out of whack. So I have to take so many freaking pills now. And they don't even give you a buzz. They don't even give me it's like, come on, man. If I'm going to pay this much, I want to at least have some good time. No, I'm just kidding, guys. Stay away from that stuff. Yeah, it's just moving to the upside. I'm stunned that Bitcoin is just acting like stupid. Just stunned. This thing isn't doing anything. VIX down -4%, which is good. Good. See, the VIX is now on this just sell swing highs type of stuff. We definitely like to see low volatility. I mean, we're getting back to pre-COVID levels, which is awesome. So yeah, all the fear mongering going on out there, like literally their only use case right now is the inverted yield curve. That's literally it. That's literally it. All the other data points are starting to look like we have a strong. What is that? A strong economy. Sorry. What is this? Oh, I remember now. All right, so let's see if this changed any. Probably not. 91% chance that they're gonna rate hike. 92%. So yeah, nothing's really changed as far as the marketplace. All you gotta do. Hang on one second. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Where were we? My girl just came back home. All right, so let's see. The XY down 81%. Did it make fresh yearly lows? We are witnessing history in the making. Almost, man. It is stretched out. Damn it, I did not buy Bitcoin on that swing low. I wish I would have now because it's pushing above the open. Like I said, it's barely moved today. So, I mean, you're trading inside of a 1% range. That's choppy in my book. This dollar weakness is not going to continue like this all day. This thing will hit a low and pull back more than likely. And I would say it's going to be that one right there. Let's go. Let's go. Dollar short positions all year. Nailed it. Bitcoin is moving back up above $30,673. Back up 16%, 15%. Ethereum up 50% on the day. So all Bitcoin did literally was liquidated the low of day that was set last night at the open and has pushed higher. Red wine is occasionally good. Yeah, I don't like red wine. I was like a drinker. I like vodka, Sprite, gin and tonics, stuff like that. Mostly gin, less tonic. Throw a lemon in that baby and some ice and I'm good. Tonic water by itself is terrible, but yeah, I can't do wine. My mom drinks wine, but I never could. I don't know. I mean, I see people on like wine tasters and stuff go into like almost euphoric states when they're swirling their glass and they're smelling it, and then they put their nose in the cup and they take a sip, and it's like fruity, warm, walnutty, almost almondy, earthy flavors. Yeah, no, to me it tastes like garbage. I don't like any of it. White wine, red wine. I even don't like to cook with it, but I do because recipes call for it. Like instead of using a beef stew packet that you buy at Publix or Walmart or wherever, if you just take the beef, put flour on it, brown that stuff in a hard, sturdy kettle, Bitcoin moving right back up 0.5%. We should have bought that low of day test. I freaking knew we should have bought it. I just didn't want to chase it. I needed it to come back and test that level. It just didn't. It's just gone straight back up. But anyways, yeah, you just take that, put red wine in it, let it simmer for hours, and you will have the best tasting beef stew you ever had. Throw some herbs and spices in it, of course, but drinking it flat out, I can't do it. It's disgusting to me. Could the government be manipulating the Bitcoin price since they don't want it to go up against the dollar? I mean, Yeah, but that's jumping out there into what's it called? Land. When you start speculating stuff like that. The government does own a lot of Bitcoin. I don't know the exact number, but it is a lot. So yeah, I mean, why not? They could be selling it. But I doubt the government's going to sell it because I mean, this government might, but I don't think they should. I think they should actually be investing more into it. But we'll see. They don't want to they don't want you to think that stuff because the dollar is the almighty, right? It is the currency, the world reserve. And they will do everything in the world to protect that status because if they lose their world reserve currency status, then that puts up in lines people, someone like China, and they definitely don't want that to happen. I believe war would be happening before that would happen, in my opinion. They definitely don't want the dollar to lose its reserve status because as long as it is, they pretty much got everybody where they want them. But yeah, a strong dollar is not really the greatest for the economy either. We like a weak dollar. It puts us on the same level as other countries as far as purchasing power. So yeah. Smoke marijuana. It's still smoking. I mean, it doesn't have all the nasty chemicals cigarettes do, but it's still smoke. And the lungs do not like that. Creatine helps for energy. I'll do something about that. That's easy to buy. That's a GNC. MDMA for energy. MDMA. I don't think I can buy that right off the counter. Yeah, that's funny. All right. Conspiracy land. That's the word that would not pop up out of my brain. Yes. There you go. But you knew what I was talking about, so that's good. I want to see dollar make fresh lows and we'll end the stream, but it might not happen. The euro did make fresh highs, though. No, it did not. Did it? Yes, it did. The euro did make fresh highs, and it is pulling back slightly. Fresh yearly highs on the euro. You are officially in an uptrend. But I've been saying that since the beginning of the year, that we were expecting the euro to go up. They still have a higher inflation rate than we do, so they still have to do some rate hikes, and that will cause strength in the euro. So we'll see what happens. They're still expecting a rate hike at the end of July. It is going to be on the 26th of this month, so right around the end of the month, we'll get the rate hike, potentially. I would love to see him come out and not do it, even though the marketplace is pricing it in. So just watch the 1 month. Literally. Yeah. That's why there's a 90% chance of the hike, is because this thing is trading right at 5.25%. So, yeah. If this thing pukes in the next couple of days, that would be good. Puke all the way back down to 5%. They wouldn't hike. I don't think, anyways. I'll drink anything, says Brooke. Yeah. Not only are you a master trailer and wonderful teacher, you are a funny entertainer too. I'm a big fan of my big brother. Nice. He means medicine. Oh, these things they're not really heart pills. They're Eliquis is what they're called. Eliquis, and amongst others, Eliquis, that's the one that's like super, super expensive. Insanely expensive. So yeah. I'm not in Bitcoin any longer. It took me out on that spike low, so I'm upset. I did make money on it. I made a nice gain on it. But still, man, it's right back to where it was. We should have bought that freaking brand new daily low test as it was roughly around the midpoint of yesterday's range. It just was so fast, like so fast. So it went down there, and then as it moved up this far, I didn't like that spread. I wanted it to come back lower, then I could have bought it. So that way the risk to reward would be a lot better, right? When you chase price, like say buy it there, then there's a good chance that it comes back because you have now created the daily range. Made a fresh daily high there, new fresh daily low. That typically is a bearish signal, but not always, but typically. Like a lot of times when that happens, you do see downside continuation. But maybe today's the day that it doesn't happen out of the percentages, the probabilities. All right, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up because literally there's nothing to do. Everything is flying to the moon. I don't think I'd be wanting to short any of these assets. I mean, obviously they're going to pull back eventually. They're not just going to keep going up. The dollar's more than likely going to liquidate that low today, and there it is. There you go. Fresh yearly low on the dollar. Right there. So it did happen. There we go. Fresh yearly low. Also hit that weekly close trend line. So now people will probably look to buy it. If they are bullish the dollar, which I wouldn't be, but you have a trend. You're making lower highs and lower lows, baby. That's a trend. The trend can change, but we're more than halfway through the year, so I think it's pretty much set in stone at this point that you're going to see downside continuation on the dollar, but we can't short it. We can only buy Euro or Aussie, which now is making its way back to a yearly opening range based on today alone. Boom. Where was that one we were looking at to potentially short at the yearly opening range? Does anybody remember? What dosage of Eliquis? Shit, I don't know. My medication is in the other room. Oh, no, yeah, it's the other room. I'm not sure. I don't think it's a high dose. Maybe 25 milligrams or something, if I'm remembering right. I don't know. But I take it twice a day. Morning and evening. So, what was that one that we were looking at that was getting real close to trading? JD.com? No. Silver. Was it silver? We looked at something that was literally coming into the yearly opening range. Silver. There it is. So, I mean, that's a big day. So now if the dollar's going to pull back after making that low, then at least you could maybe get like a day trade in from here to there. Never use more than the midpoint of the daily range when taking the opposite side of the trade. Because most of the time, that's like where the pullbacks happen and then go. So, yeah, from there to there is what? It's a 1.21% move. Not bad. So what I do in situations like this is I wait. Now that we have an hourly close under, I wait the next hour and see does it close above it or not. Basically, what you want to see is you want to see it drop back under that and close under it. And then any retests of it, you want to see failure. And if that's the case, then you could, you get your stop up above wherever the high is, and it becomes like a 2-to-1 risk to reward back to here. Because this is where price will go back to if it does pull back. Because that's where you had all this stuff happen. That old daily support level. So if price pulls back, it will pull back to there. The probabilities are high that it will pull back to there. That is if it doesn't keep going, which is possible. The market's just now 10:13, so yeah, they'll be open all day, guys. But we got to wrap it up. Yeah, see you in the Discord also, my friend. And for everybody that's in the Discord, I'll be around all day. So yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. What we expected to happen on Bitcoin did not. We expected it to continue higher and potentially break out. It did not happen. What we got was more bloody mess. Make a fresh daily high, then go down, make a fresh daily low, and now you're trading roughly around 0.53%. So staying within that 1% range, which is disgusting, difficult trade that, you know what I mean? It's just difficult to trade it. But there is a lot of resistance in this area. You can just see the daily wicks. They are many. Love you, baby. And with that, we'll wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for being here. We'll see you tomorrow because tomorrow's Thursday. We do the regular live streams Tuesdays and Thursdays. We try to do it without hitch or without fail. So we will see you tomorrow morning live around 9 o'clock. We like to get started right before the market open. If I see something starting to set up before the market open, then I'll go live then. So just make sure you hit the alert button, and if there's a trade to be had, we will have it. All right. Make sure you guys trade safe. Make sure you trade smart. And as always, happy trading, everybody. Rope, I'll tell you the dosage later. I'll get it and let you know. But thank you for caring. Thank you so much. All right, guys, have a good day.